So back on with the Skyline. I've got one manifold and turbo fitted, and it's a case of looking at the rest of the downpipe now. We've kind of done the two downpipes together on the jig. Now we need to kind of connect it up to the rest of the exhaust system. One of the benefits of now having the wastegates on the manifold and the wastegates pumping into the downpipes is the wastegate actually locates it all. So even with the V-band on the turbine housings, you can get the, you don't know which orientation they need to go in when it's pointing down, and of course we need it all to match together. So I'm pretty confident that I can do all this without actually refitting the front turbo and downpipe as well. In fact, I know I can. But yeah, so I've just got the one manifold, turbo and downpipe fitted, and then you can see down here we've got where the front turbo downpipe connects up, and then as we look underneath the car, you'll see that the pieces that I've tacked on, which are hopefully going to join up to the catback exhaust. So it's just a case of working all that out now. The pieces that I had tacked on to the lower half of that downpipe, where my merge comes together, we've got the 2 into 1. I tacked on two bends to put the flexi in the same location as what it is on our V-band manifold downpipe. And the advantage of doing that and trying to keep it all the same is it means that the next section of exhaust, this piece, is the same based on whatever manifold kit we're making. V-band manifold or the twin turbo manifold, we've always got the same kind of section of downpipe. So that just makes it easier for us to manufacture. So hopefully this fits the same, it should do. It looks like it will. That'll go into there. That bolts up there onto the catback of the exhaust. And yeah, it does, it fits perfect. So really now it is a case of welding this up, bolting it onto the catback, tacking this in place on here, and then just welding the rest of the downpipe up, and then that'll give us the same piece what suits the V-band manifold and the twins. It just makes it a lot easier. We may end up putting a slip joint in this straight section here. I would like to not need to do that, but my worry is as we sell these kits in the future, if you're using our catback exhaust, no problem, I'm sure it'll be fine, and the fit will work. But given how many exhaust systems there are for these, a lot of them are custom, they've been fit to custom downpipes maybe, and we can't always guarantee that this 2-bolt flange location is going to be the same on the catback. So if we make this portion in the middle here adjustable, both lengthwise and rotationally, that should make it a lot easier to fit. If somebody's fitting it with a different brand of aftermarket exhaust, like I say, we just can't always guarantee that it's going to fit the same. So as much as I'd like to keep it, with the fewest joins in, I think that's going to be the most sensible thing to do. So yeah, just a case of doing some welding now. Right, all welded up. Hopefully it still fits. Obviously you normally get a little bit of movement around those welds as you weld things when there's several welds. But basically we just need that to drop inside there, which it's going to do. The downpipe is fixed in its correct position, or as correct as I can get it, I guess. So now what I'm going to do is bolt this piece up onto the catback, set the height in the correct position, because I think it's going to want to go up just a touch, because at the minute we've got the kind of the weight of the exhaust on the hanger bushes. So I'm just going to push it up a little bit, maybe 5 millimeters or so. Yeah, and then that's done really. The only thing I do want to do is I want to put a bracket somewhere, either from this piece, like after the flexi, onto the body, or on the downpipe onto the block, one or the other. We need to get a bracket in somewhere, because we've got quite a lot of length of pipe here without any kind of support. So yeah, just going to be a case of getting that bolted up, getting it all tacked on, and then putting a bracket on it somewhere. Got some tacks on this, got it tucked up nice, which is what we want. Obviously we need to try and keep it as high as we can because ground clearance. This car's not super low, and I don't think most Skylines are, but it's still always worthwhile trying to get it as high as we can. So yeah, going to get it off the car again, which is quite a time consuming process, but get it off the car again, weld that flexi up, and then just take a look at that bracket basically. I'm not sure where I'm going to go to yet, but there are a few places we could put them where we don't have to drill any holes, which is kind of what we want really. Flexi all welded up, so it's turned into a bit of a beast now, this downpipe. Obviously we've got to put it in from the underneath. It obviously doesn't go in from the top anymore. So I guess the technique for this now is to try and get it somewhere near at the top without scratching the hell out of it, and obviously without disturbing the paintwork on Sam's car, which is easier said than done. Get that up there, and then bolt it on here, and then we'll put the car back down again and get it located on the turbo, and then hopefully it should all be in the right place. It's definitely not going to be and this is some of the difficulty with this kind of kit now. It's such a specific fit in so many areas that it really is going to need a kind of instruction book on how to install, which bits to install first, really. So yeah, that is lined up roughly. Probably not. I probably don't need to tighten this up yet. Give me a bit of adjustment room at the top then. So yeah, just a case of getting the V-band hooked on at the top now. So downpipe hooked on underneath. Now it's a case of getting the clamp onto the wastegate. So this is probably the trickiest one to do because it's like halfway up the car, but I can just about reach in to do it still. Just pull the downpipe away, which that's one of the advantages of putting a flex in it at that location, because it allows me to move this whole downpipe out of the way, which is quite handy. I can then slide the clamp in between the two wastegate flanges. So it's all connected at the top, wastegate's all lined up right, turbine housing's all lined up right, and this still is in the correct position by the looks of things. So I'm just going to tighten this up, and then we can basically just double check that the front turbo and front downpipe fit correctly, which there's no reason why they shouldn't. Then we're getting there. So yeah, we'll put a bracket on it, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. We'll get the rest of it refitted, just in case I have to change the orientation of this slightly. I will build some adjustability into that bracket, but it's easy enough thing to do after. Yeah, so we're getting there now.